Kevin Roose is a writer for New York Times, and he covers Wall Street a lot. So he thought it would be a good idea to live like a billionaire for a day and decide whether or not that's the lifestyle for him. Now, I actually really love this because he really walks us through it through a video that he had shot of this whole scenario, right? So let's watch it and then pay close attention to basically his conclusion.
I'm not rich, but I cover Wall Street, and I wanted to find out, what's it really like to be a billionaire?
There's a massage element in the chair back here, so I'm getting a nice massage.
Today I'm working in my office like normal, but I have my security detail, Steve, standing guard over me in case any of my coworkers try to pull a fast one. Now, you wouldn't think a guy like me would need a security detail, but my outfit today costs more than a year at Harvard. These workouts aren't like normal workouts. You have 2 trainers, one to lead the workout and one to take notes. I thought my day of luxury would be relaxing, not a care in the world. But I was actually more stressed than ever. Being a billionaire with security detail, the high-end cars that attract attention, it can all make you a little paranoid.
Okay, so I love the conclusion he came to because he actually lives in a tiny little apartment in Brooklyn, right? So, you know, he's a writer for the New York Times. I'm guessing he doesn't make that much money. He knows what it's like to struggle. And you would think that someone who comes from, you know, humble beginnings would be very appreciative of being able to take advantage of all that luxury. But I like that he was more stressed out. You're never alone. You constantly have the security guard with you, right? And you're always paranoid because you're wearing like a $5 million suit and someone's ready to rip it off of you.
Oh, really?
He was wearing a ridiculously expensive suit. And by the way,
maybe I might want to wear that suit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, dirty, dirty. Anyway, and then the gym he went to with the 2 trainers has a membership fee of $13,000 a year.
Oh, Jesus. No, but my favorite part was the trainer taking notes.
You should already know how to do your job. You don't need to take notes.
No, I like the second one, like, I have run out of things to do. So let me waste money by taking notes on your exercise routine. Okay, okay, God, what a waste. So, no, the thing is, I'm somewhere in between here, right? So I think that there are things that are luxurious, that are fantastic, okay? So I'm not into clothes, I don't need a second trainer, but, you know, a great vacation in a really nice hotel. Which right-minded American doesn't want that, right? But yes, I think that his main point is a really good one, because if you cross a certain boundary, it might not even help you, it might hurt you, right? Because you do get stressed out. Like, I wouldn't want to wear really expensive jewelry. I'd be thinking that I was going to get robbed, like that football player in Vegas. Remember when he got his ass robbed? Right? Okay? Because he's like, has all this bling on him, and they're like, oh, okay, easy target. Bam, they hit him over the head and take all his stuff, right? And the security detail, all that stuff is stress, it's hassle. So I say just make a couple of $1 million and you'll be fine.
I feel like if you accumulated a certain amount of wealth, you should still try to live simplistically, right? And I'm not saying like struggle or whatever, but like don't overdo it. You know, like don't go out and buy the things that make you flashy, that make you, you know, stand out, because then you are going to be paranoid all the time. And another thing I don't understand is when people reach like a tremendous amount of wealth, once they're billionaires, why do you need to buy like a 15-room mansion when you're not even married?
Well, no, let's keep it real here, right? And by the way, I loved like the tips you're giving to the super rich. They're gonna be like, oh, well, Anna said that, you know, I said, okay. Now, look, I'm not the kind of guy, I'm not the Lorax. I'm not the kind of guy that wears like a monk outfit and is like, no, I want to go to Miami and I want to live life and eat whatever I want. And I'm an American, okay? But at the same time, when you get into the 15-room mansions, you want to know what they're doing? They're measuring their dick, okay? Yeah. So they're putting it out. Oh, yeah, I got a 15-room mansion. Oh, yeah, what do you, oh, stick it, I got a 17-room mansion. What are you going to stay in the 15 rooms, the 17 rooms? I like a lot of different rooms, right? But there's a limit. There's a limit. And then it's being a pain in the ass, and then it costs you a ton of money, and that you're wasting, you know? That whether it's the rent, whether it's the taxes, whether it's the guys to help you clean it up, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. It's a gigantic waste, but they can't help themselves because they got to compete. They got to be number one. They got to be richer than the next guy. Their house got to be bigger. And to them, they've lost all perspective.
I know, it's incredible. Look, just to give you an example of that, I have to read this quote. the New York Times writer spoke to a billionaire. Now, he didn't identify the billionaire. He wanted to remain anonymous. But this quote, I think, speaks volumes. The billionaire says, "Somebody's got to live this life. God decided it should be me."
Oh, that guy makes me want to vomit. Yo, they're asking for trouble, man.
Well, that's why he wants to be unidentified.
Yeah. I'm blown away by that, man. That's the first thing that's left me speechless in a long time.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to go
Yeah,
at it.
that speaks to the, and as you said, like would go to the paranoia that the New York Times writer discovered. Just he's like, I've been ordained by God to live this life, and everyone else, of course, they want to be like me. Look, there's that guy looked at me crosswayed in the streets because I was walking. Now, this first thing that sparked in my mind was they've lost so much perspective. Now, if you make a billionaire, I would just do a social experiment so you can maybe see what it's like because they've lost so much perspective on life. Have them live like a person who makes $10,000, $15,000 a year, which there's plenty of. Or, fuck it, $25,000 a year. We'll make them splurge. Let him live like that for a week, where he really doesn't get any perks of a rich person. Has to get to work whatever way you can with that kind of money. Starts and lives whatever neighborhood you have to live in with that kind of money. And I don't know if it would actually penetrate their brick heads, but where they get to see, you mean humans live like this?
Yeah.
But humans live like this? Like rats? Because that's what they probably see it as.
Yeah, no.
And that's people they're taking from.
No, you're 1,000,000% right. They would lose their minds, man. I know some of those folks, man. And to them, that would be like inhumane. Like, how could you do this to me? And then you ask them, hey, do you get that most people live this way? And that hence you should be a little bit more, at the very least, a little more careful with what you say, let alone what you do, let alone what your politics is. But to them, they just can't identify with them. It's what we started the show with, Scarborough saying everybody in my neighborhood hates Planned Parenthood. So I don't get it. All women are Republicans, right? Or women don't think there's a war on women. So no, you live in a bubble. And look, the most dangerous part of that is what we talk about most often on the show, which is the Tim Geithners of the world saying, well, obviously the bankers have to make their millions of dollars, even if they're grotesque failures. They have a contract, right? And all the contracts that you have, your pension, all this stuff that you have with your companies is irrelevant because they're not you. They don't care. They don't know you. They don't care about you. It's not, and they think they're perfectly good guys. They don't even realize how much they're in their bubble. They think, well, bankers have contracts. Normal people are it's tough economic times. You have to lose your pension.